Nigeria's army recently released this poster of its top 100 terror targets. Among them, Africa's most wanted man, Abubakar Shekau, head of the Islamic terror group Boko Haram.
This person has been unsettling not just really northern Nigeria, but an entire region.
In video obtained by a Nigerian newspaper, the Boko Haram leader, surrounded by bodyguards, boasts he will never get caught because he's doing Allah's work. Shekau adds the war in Nigeria will continue even after him.
I think if he's not put under control by the Nigerian government, this could certainly tip over into a caliphate type idea like we saw with ISIS in Iraq and Syria.
Shekau's brutal insurgency has killed thousands and left millions displaced from their homes.
If you look at what's happened on the last 20 years, it's just massive number of attacks against Christians. 50 to 70,000 have been murdered.
Shekau's mission? Turn Africa's most populous country Islamic and force Christians who make up half the population to either leave, convert to Islam, or die. Johnny Moore, a Christian, and Abraham Cooper, an Orthodox Jew, are co-authors of the new book, The Next Jihad, Stop the Christian Genocide in Africa.
The terrorists in Nigeria and in the surrounding countries around Nigeria where these other insurgencies are taking place are absolutely trying to commit genocide against the Christian communities. They want to wipe them all out.
Moore and Cooper traveled together to Nigeria earlier this year, meeting dozens of Christian victims of Muslim persecution.
Many of them just feel helpless at this point. You never know where it's going to hit next. Their faith, however, remains unshakable. And speaking as a Jewish rabbi, an Orthodox one, I was very inspired by their faith.
To make matters worse, in Nigeria's so-called Middle Belt region, where the Muslim North meets the Christian South, another terror group made up of Muslim Fulani militants are also terrorizing Christians. More than 1,200 Christians were hacked to death in just the first 6 months of 2020 by Fulani militants.
Middle of the night, coming into Christian villages, burning down the homes, killing the people. Just really, really horrible.
The Wall Street Journal reporting how jihadist groups set up random highway checkpoints searching for Christians to kidnap for ransom or simply murder on the roadside. One of those abducted, Polycarp Zongo, pastor of a church east of Abuja, the country's capital city. The terrorist group releasing this video of Pastor Zongo appealing for his release.
They too captured 2 Christian women who are also here with me. I'm appealing that you all do all that's possible to secure our release from captivity.
The terror attacks on Christians spiking under Nigeria's President Muhammadu Buhari's watch. He's a Muslim from the Fulani tribe. Nigerian Christian leaders accuse President Buhari of doing little to stop the bloodletting. CBN News reached out to Nigeria's ambassador in Washington, D.C. for comment on the ongoing persecution of Christians in his country, but got no response.
It's one thing when North Korea does this or when Iran does this, but this is a democracy. There has to be rule of law in this country.
Nigeria's police and army are also mostly made up of Fulani Muslims.
The attackers are never captured. They are not prosecuted. The security services respond very slowly. A full day can go on with attacks happening and no security shows up. And frequently, the government officials will provide cover.
Meanwhile, the COVID pandemic making the plight of Nigeria's Christians even worse, especially in provinces ruled by Islamic Sharia law.
When the government sends food into these areas, the extremists and the leaders under Sharia law are intentionally keeping food and aid from the people that they consider to be infidels, but these are Nigerian citizens.
And it's not just in Nigeria. After losing ground in Syria and Iraq, the top general of U.S. Special Operations Command in Africa is warning that Al-Qaeda, ISIS, and other Islamic terror groups are gaining ground in other parts of Africa. On November 10th, ISIS-linked fighters attacked a remote town in northern Mozambique, beheading 50 people in a soccer stadium and kidnapping scores of women. This summer saw a slew of jihadist attacks in Niger, Chad, Cameroon, Burkina Faso, Mali, Tanzania, Kenya, and the Democratic Republic of Congo. Moore says for radical jihadists, Nigeria remains the big prize.
This is the most important country in Africa, the 10th largest oil reserves in the world, the largest economy on the continent.
Dr. David Curry, whose group Open Doors has listed Nigeria as the 12th worst place in the world for Christians, is urging the next U.S. administration to make Nigeria a top priority.
This has massive international implication for the entire continent, but we need to focus on what's happening in Nigeria. Otherwise, we could have a massive upheaval in that very important place in the world.
Moore and Cooper hope their book will help our political leaders and people around the world understand the crisis facing Nigeria today.
And I can tell you, every minute the world is asleep is another minute that someone dies. And so whether it's the Jewish rabbi who's been fighting his whole life against injustice, or the Christian pastor who sees them as family, this is an injustice for the whole world, and now it's time to stop it.
George Thomas, CBN News.